my dear friends. So it's important as you begin this new year to ask yourself, who are you? And John the Baptist knew who he was. How? Of course, from the generation, his father, Zechariah, was a priest. Normally, generation-wise, even John the Baptist has to be a priest, because it's generation to generation, the profession is passed down. But then he did something different. His calling was different. It's not with the current, no, generational order. No, it became deeper with the word of God. So that's how he went to the wilderness and had a different diet and different attire and different way of listening to the voice of God in the wilderness. Wilderness is a place where you listen to the voice of God, my dear friends. That's how you realize. So when people ask who you are, who are you? Are you the prophets? Are you the prophet? Of course, they knew he was a prophet. Are you the prophet means after Moses. Moses was naming that particular prophet who people are going to listen, which of course Jesus. He said, I'm not Messiah. I'm not the prophet. I'm not Elijah. No. I'm, according to Isaiah, I'm the voice in the wilderness to prepare the way. So he realized who he was with the word of God. Exactly. So it's important that you realize, you identify yourself with the word. God's intention for you. When all the people at the birth of, say, John the Baptist, people, they wanted to, they kind of persuaded the parents to name the child as Zechariah. And they ardently said no. They are going to name him John, because God wanted them to name him John, because he has a different calling. So as a mother, as a father, as a child of God, you have a different calling, which you have to discern it differently in your own wilderness. Listening to your inner voice is of paramount importance. Then what happened? Then he says, I'm not Christ. I'm the one who is sent to prepare the way. Then he beautifully says, then why are you baptizing? Then he says, John answered, I baptize you with water, but among you stands one whom you do not know. And in this new year, this is a good news. He's there with you, among you, but still you don't know. So it's a time that you have to discern him, see him, understand him, try to see him in your presence, because he's there with you. And then he says, although he comes after me, I am not worthy to untie the straps of his sandal. My dear friends, untying the sandal is a duty of a slave. Even there were gradations in slavery. So the one who undo the straps of the sandal is the most lowest caste of the slaves. John is saying, I don't deserve even that. In front of us, you might wonder why I stand before this sandal. This slipper has a different kind of importance. We call this Jesus slipper. This is how they name it, Jesus slipper, because they have made it in such a way, so imitating Jesus' slipper maybe. So imagine this is his slipper. This is exactly the slippers that Jesus wore. So touching it would be a blessing, isn't it? You will die to touch it. This is not that slipper. But then yet they naming Jesus slipper. John is saying, I'm not worthy to undo the straps of his slipper. Now you understand the greatness of God and what you are doing. Of course, in people's eye, popular opinion was different. John was so great. People were mixed up, they completely misunderstood him as to he's the Messiah. It was so powerful. His ways of doing things are so powerful. Yet he says, what I did is nothing compared to his greatness. He should increase, I should decrease. John clearly says that. I'm not Jesus. I'm not the Messiah. The bride belongs to the bridegroom. John chapter 3, verse 29 onwards it is said. So duty of the bridegroom. So I'm the friend, best one of the bridegroom. So my joy lies in hearing the voice of my friend, bridegroom. So my duty is to take the bride and get the bride to the bridegroom. That's my duty. My dear friends, first you have to identify your calling, who you are, and then what you are in relation to Jesus's calling, Jesus's life. So he should be there in your background. And then realize how tiny you are. How tiny you are. That you are not worthy to undo the straps of the sandal. He's so great. So we can be never proud about what we are doing. And then just be joyful. Because you are his friend. So New Year, he's there with you, among you. He's going to baptize you with water, not water, but fire. So fire can consume. Fire can change, convert people completely. So he's there with you. So 2021, we are going to start. We have already started with that promise that he's there with us. Identify yourself as to who you are and identify it with the word, with what he intends of you. And if you see that, you'll be really happy and joyful. Think about it and have a nice day. May God bless you.